Hey y'all, it's Jennelle.
And this is Ashley. Welcome to Loving in Reality.
On this podcast, we review TV shows that are focused on the big L word.
That's right. Love, dating, marriage, and all the drama in between.
All right, y'all. So grab your favorite drink.
And let's get into this reality tea. All right, guys. We're back. Talk about Married at First Sight, episode 7.
Yep, it's starting to get a little bit more interesting.
Yes, it was move-in day in Boston.
Definitely some important events that happened. I don't know, where should we, I don't even know where we should start. I don't know where we should start.
Yeah, there was. I'll start by saying Boston is not that cute.
The city?
I was like, ugh, yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I would want to live in Boston if this is what we're working with. Everyone had like these light brown cabinets. Oh, I'm talking about in their home.
Oh, the houses. Yeah.
Yeah, they just looked older. I'm not a fan of light brown cabinets. I can't stand that in a kitchen.
They look small. Like all of their apartments look small. I was like, geez.
Oh, okay, so yeah, let's start with Noy and Steve.
Okay.
Does Noy live in a room?
I don't know, but it seemed really small.
It's either she's staying in a room or that is the smallest studio apartment I have ever seen.
I mean, it had a couch. She had like a couch in there. Didn't it show like a kitchen or no?
Oh, there was a kitchen. So
yeah.
Maybe that's just a studio then. Oh, wow.
I don't think it's a studio. Like, I think her bedroom has a door. It's just really small kitchen, living room, like room area. Like, I feel like it's just small.
No, I think everything was all in the same room. That bedroom was not a separate space.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, I missed that.
No, I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. But I felt the same, like, for all of their house, like, all of their places seem crowded. I was like, either they have too much stuff or it's too small.
I guess Boston is maybe because it's just such a city.
I mean, isn't it like that up north? Like, I don't know. I hear about New York apartments being small. So I don't know.
I just wouldn't put Boston on the same level as New York, but maybe it is. I don't know anything about the Northeast.
I don't either.
Yeah, if that's what y'all are working with up there, I'll stay in the South. Thank you.
Never even been to Boston. So I have no idea.
But yeah, Noy's place is pretty little.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think about her and this dog? I feel like
absolutely not. Absolutely not is what I thought about it.
She is not budging on the dog.
She's not budging on a lot of things, but I don't know what she's starting to like kind of annoy me a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like that dog and just her inability to like, no, this is what I want and that's what is going to happen.
It's like there's no discussion or she doesn't seem willing to compromise.
Especially because Steve was really trying to compromise with her on that dog. He was like, because I know some people would just be like, absolutely not. He's not sleeping in the bed. I don't care. Like, no. But he's like, well, can he sleep on your side? Can we put like an extension of the bed? Kind of like how they have those baby things like attached to the bed. Like, so I don't want the dog on me. She's like, yeah, he's going to be on your pillow. And, you know, he might be on your face. Like, absolutely not.
No, I'm with Steve.
Like, why do I have to do that?
I agree with Steve. No dogs in the bed, please. The dog can be right
but
next to the bed.
But he didn't even say that. He didn't even say that.
Mm-mm.
He really could have asserted himself a little bit better there I just don't see the point in not speaking up if it's going to be a problem later. Maybe it won't be a problem later, but I anticipate it being an issue. You should just say something.
Maybe he thinks he can convince her later on.
I think he's just trying to give it a go. Mm-hmm. He's like, well, let's see how it works. But I feel like she should have been more receptive to his suggestions, you know, of the dog.
It's his home too now. Like, it can't just all be your way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even her with the kids, too. I feel like that's weird.
That was very weird to me. To be like, no, I'm having 3. I'm sticking with that number. Truly no good reason for the number. And she sounded like a child.
Immature. Yeah, that's why I said it seems immature.
Yeah.
that statement. Even when Pastor Cal was like, there's way more to consider than just, well, everybody in my family has 3 kids.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's her idea of the perfect family. But does she not realize how expensive kids are? I would think, given the way she grew up, she wouldn't be so set on that number.
Yeah, it isn't making sense with her background and her, I guess, anxiety around finances and money. Mm-hmm. But she also wants to raise or have 3 kids. Yeah, kids are expensive. But there's just way more to consider. Just like Steve was saying, what if there's a special needs kid that we have? Like, what if our careers head in a certain direction? We're not going to have the time and to dedicate to 3 kids. Because I don't just want to have 3 kids just to have them. If I have 3 kids, I want to be able to be a part of their lives.
Right. And provide them a good life.
Yeah. I mean, even Pastor Cal was like, what if you can't have 3 kids? Like, exactly. There's just way more to consider. I feel like Steve, again, trying to compromise is like, well, once we get to 2, can we revisit? We could see like, hey, maybe we think 2 might be too much, or let's see how things are, right. With us having 2 kids. There's just a lot more to consider.
Yeah, she's just not being very realistic. Because 1 child, my goodness, I don't have any kids, but I see kids every day in clinic, and I see how exhausted these parents look.
And that's the thing. I think it's because she maybe doesn't have that much interaction with kids that she's not really thinking about the other aspects aside from finances. Because you could be rich and kids could still be, emotionally expensive.
Yes, that is very true.
So I feel like because she doesn't have kids, she's not looking at it from this aspect. She's kind of just looking at, again, people looking at other people's lives, not knowing what is truly going on and being like, yeah, I want that. Yeah. You don't know what that means.
She just seems really oblivious to how hard this will be.
Because I have a kid and I used to want 3 kids too. And no.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what, Lord? I think you probably knew better than me. That's why I only got 1.
Yeah, they're not.
Because I don't see how.
They're not easy. That's why I enjoy my job. I can hang out with them at work and then they go right back to their parents. Done at 3:00 with them.
Because I feel like I don't do enough. I'm like, man, I need to put my daughter in something else. Like she needs some extracurricular things to do. But I don't know how people have the time to work out, cook dinner, get their kids to practice. Got the kids to do their homework. You already have a full-time job. Like how? So, yeah.
Yeah, I hope she budgets some on that. Because that's going to be a problem.
But I hear that story. A lot. A lot of people say, oh, I wanted this many kids until I had a kid.
Right. It's just going to take that first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. Steve is he's handling that well.
I feel like he's being too passive, and I can't say he's being too passive. It seems like he's being too passive, and he's not really, like I said, asserting himself and letting her know, like, okay, I want to make a life with you, not join your life. So in order for us to make a life together, these are decisions that we have to make together.
Yeah, and he should just be open and tell her that. But maybe he just doesn't want to rock the boat right now. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I feel like the session with Pastor Cal probably would have been a good time to do that.
He still held his tongue.
That would have been the perfect time to do it, actually.
I mean, even about the job thing, I feel like that's another, they definitely need to have an in-depth conversation about that. Because they don't have the same vision as far as what he plans to do for work. Like she wants him to have a stable 9-to-5 job. And he's like, I don't want to go back to that. So, which I feel like he kind of led people on in the beginning saying, oh, I can join the job market again and blah, blah, blah. That was never his intention. That's what he just said from day one.
He doesn't want to work. I think he just wants to get up and.
No. I don't think he not wants to work. I think he wants to be an entrepreneur because he was saying, I want to explore my creativity. I want to do all these things. It seems like he wants to do work his way.
Why hasn't he said that then? I feel like he hasn't mentioned anything about starting a business.
He said it.
Did he?
he said, he didn't say it specifically, and that's what I'm saying. I could tell by the language that he used when he was saying, you know, I don't want to go back to a 9-to-5, or he's saying, I want to explore my creativity. I want to do these things. I want to make money in my own way. That just screams he wants to be an entrepreneur. Steve needs to be more assertive into what he wants and what he's trying to say.
Know what he wants to do, because it honestly sounds like he doesn't have much of a plan, which would also make me nervous.
He said web design, and he said website building, and he said something else. So, I mean, those are all lucrative.
They can be lucrative, yes, but they're not always lucrative for everybody.
No, they're not. But I guess unless you have a salary job, there is no job that's lucrative for everybody. So if you're not wanting to, and I can understand a lot of people have that same mind state of when they got fired from this job in the pandemic, they're like, I no longer want to rely on this company that can fire me at will for my financial future. And people are taking their financial futures in their own hands. And I don't know if that's him because he's not being very clear.
Yeah, he's not.
But I could see that.
It's just very kind of vague to me. And I think that's what makes Noy nervous.
Yeah. I could see that being like his reasoning behind not wanting to go back to work. I know a lot of people that feel the same way. Like, I'm not going back to allow another company to put me in that type of financial situation again. I want to take it into my own hands. And if he has the skill set to be able to do that, then he just needs to be clear, and they have to be on the same page, because the road to being an entrepreneur is not easy, and you're definitely going to need support. And if that's not something that she will support, it's going to be a problem.
Especially while starting a family.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem if that's not something she's willing to support.
Yeah, and I think
if that's not something that she wants.
That would, again, make me very nervous. We're talking about starting a family within the next couple of years. You're talking about starting, I guess, a business and not having much of a plan. They just really need to sit down and figure it out. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it just depends on the person. Because personally, that wouldn't make me nervous. Because I like entrepreneurship. And I would much rather be an entrepreneur myself. And I would rather my spouse be an entrepreneur as well. So I am all for entrepreneurship. But that's why I say it depends on the person.
Yeah. Well, I think kind of like what Pastor Cal said, and that's fine. But some people need, they just want to have a plan. That just makes some people feel a little bit more secure. And I think, especially given how she grew up, she needs that.
I don't think a plan of him being an entrepreneur will make her happy.
Well, just a plan of
even if he
what
had
are you
going
to do to make money? Like, because you're saying all these different things.
If he said, I'm going to start a business being a website designer and a logo maker, I don't think she would be happy with that, even if that was his plan. I don't think she would feel secure in that. And I don't think that would be stable enough for her.
I wonder if it's because, I wonder how much she makes. Again, I mean, your finances are going to play a big part too.
I mean, yeah.
Because both of us got to be able to support ourselves now.
And that's like I said, they need to have a conversation.
Right.
About that. And he needs to be more clear.
If she doesn't make much and he's not working at all, then that's not going to work.
I don't think his intention is not to work at all. He continually said that he wants to make money, or he knows how to make money, or he can make money.
Will work. Yes, he will work. It's just not steady income is what I'm saying. It's just a job here and there.
But I mean, and that's the thing. So if you're a person that's like, I need someone to have a steady income job, then there's certain jobs that you probably shouldn't be with a person like a real estate agent. Probably shouldn't be with that type of person, because there is no steady income, especially if they're a new real estate agent. One month you might sell one house, one month you might sell 0 houses, the next month you might sell 3. So if you need someone with a steady income, then that needs to be expressed. Like, but I'm wondering you need to be more be assertive about it.
She's not in a position to support them both. Like, I would be okay. I think right now I would be okay with it. I mean, given my past relationship, clearly. I mean, he wasn't working. I was. So I think it just depends on the financial situation. You know?
I forgot what it said that she does.
I don't remember what she does either.
This episode, it had it on there. On everybody's, but I forgot.
Yeah. And it depends on what your goals are and how you're trying to live, your lifestyle.
Yeah.
There's a lot that
those are all conversations that they need to have. They need to discuss their financial goals. What financial goals do they have individually? And what kind of financial goals do they have together?
Yeah.
That's the thing. People are like, this is the plan I have for my life. Okay, that's the plan you have for your life. But how does that incorporate the person that you're saying you want to live spend the rest of your life with.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm hoping once they have these discussions that she'll start to feel a little bit better.
I hope so. But like I said, I feel like if Steve's plan doesn't align with her plan, I don't think there's much flexibility in her plan. I don't think she's very flexible.
To be a housewife. Maybe that's why she's so worried. She's probably like, I can't stay home if you don't have a steady income. I don't know why she's annoyed.
Yeah, but it's funny though, because flexibility, like her not compromising on anything, the dog, the kids, that is a part of the assessment that I do for my couples, is to see how rigid or flexible each person is in their relationship. So I feel like her inability to be flexible is a bit of a concern.
Yeah.
Because it takes, that flexibility when you're conjoining lives with someone.
Yeah. But again, I do see why she is concerned. And I think Steve's attitude toward it all can be a little annoying too. And I like that Pastor Cal mentioned that. He was like, she doesn't have the luxury to have this like carefree attitude that you have about it.
Because of her trauma.
Yeah.
Which may be something she needs to address. Because I don't know to the extent of how she feels, if like what financial anxieties that she has, but I wouldn't want it to be to the point where never enough money, like they never have enough money. Because there's people like that grew up that way and they never have enough.
Yeah. That's true too.
And if she's like concerned to that extent, and she's concerned to that extent, that might be a problem too. So, I mean, she didn't even tell him when they sat down on the couch with Pastor Cal. She was like, oh, well, I didn't really tell them about this yet. I'm like, these are conversations that you guys need to have.
It's just so weird to start having those, I guess, because they've only known each other for like a week and a half. But they definitely do.
I mean, it's an accelerated process.
They're married now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an accelerated process. And I don't know. There's so many couples games and stuff like that out there. Maybe they should get some. Maybe they should give them to the couples.
But yeah, the next episode though, things start to get a little bumpy.
Yeah, Noy seems like I don't know.
No, I don't run this man off. He seems like a good one. So
yeah, it seems like he is stable. Maybe not financially, but in other areas.
Yeah, I need to know more details.
Yeah. Like, he's coming in it with an open mind. I feel like he has a more mature attitude. He's willing to compromise. He isn't quick to get mad about things. He's kind of just like, okay, we'll see how it goes. I don't want that to come and bite them back later, because that is one way that resentment builds. Oh, yeah. But hopefully that's just his personality and he's just more open-minded. But we'll see.
Well, speaking of rigid people, Jasmina and Michael.
I still feel like it's not resolved. Even after the discussion with Pastor Cal, I'm like, what was resolved?
I thought she holds on to stuff. She's sitting over there holding a grudge about the honeymoon trip.
Did you watch the after show?
Yeah.
Because Michael was still mad about it too.
Yeah.
So it's like they both like have this thing where they have to be right. And I think that's what Pastor Cal was trying to tell him. It's not about being right. It's not about that. Y'all are a team. You're not against each other. One doesn't have to be right over the other. It's about, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from and you're trying to understand where I'm coming from. We are not each other's enemies. We are on the same team.
I don't feel like Michael was still holding on to what happened during the trip, though. It seemed like he was trying to.
That's what he said on the after show. I don't know. But he is something else. I would understand why Jasmina is frustrated, because I would be. Like, this boy's lying. He just straight up lying.
To be very frustrating. But Michael was definitely more so today. Or not today.
Like, his lying.
Episode.
I cannot. He straight up lied.
He did. And I didn't quite understand why we weren't focusing on the fact that he lied.
I mean, she was. That's what she was trying to say in a roundabout way.
But
like,
she was more so focusing on you live with females. You live with females. You didn't think that's something I should know? But
well, she was saying that. I think she was trying to say that you lied. Because she was saying, I don't care that you live with females. I care that you didn't tell me. Because she lives with a guy. She was like, I live with a guy. I don't care. And that's what's even more weird. She's like, I live with a guy. And I told you on our wedding day that my roommate was a guy.
I don't know. Because Michael was like, what difference would it have made if I told you? You need to call him out for lying. Use the word you lied. You are a liar.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
They're not being direct.
Is that you weren't
She's not being direct.
Honest.
Right.
I think he was very confused. He seems a little slow to me, to be honest. He seems a little slow.
She could have been more direct in her language.
He seems a little slow sometimes.
Yeah, she could have been a little bit more direct in her language. But she was just basically like kind of harp on him not telling her when really, and then she did bring up slightly, she was like, I asked you if you ever lived with a female before and you said no. But she only like stayed at that point for like a second. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point.
It was very odd.
He said no.
Because he was like, well, we never had a chance to talk about it. It just never came up. What do you
And she was
mean?
like, it did come up. She said it came up multiple times. She's like, it came up when I told you I had a guy roommate. It came up when I asked you if you ever lived with a female before. Like, it's come up.
That was so weird. It was so weird to me.
It makes me, I'm kind of like her, though. I feel like there's something up with that. Like, I feel like there's a reason why you didn't want to tell me. You can't tell me that you accidentally omitted that information. There's no way. Because I would feel like every time she spoke about her male roommate, that he would think about his female roommate, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. A part of me wondered, too, is like, how close is he to this roommate? They kind of seem like they don't speak. It's more like we just share this space and just come and go. Like, I mean, he doesn't seem close to his roommates like Jasmina is to hers.
I mean, yeah, she said hers was her best friend. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had roommates that I wasn't close to, but they're still my roommates. Like, I still see them. We still interact with each other every now and then. We share a common space. Mm. So, I don't know.
Michael, something ain't all up there to me.
I don't know. I feel like there's something with that roommate thing. Maybe they slept together.
I don't think they did. I just think that Michael is a little strange and you need to break things down for him.
And it's, like I said, he's so focused on, well, they both are, but I feel like Michael is really focused on just being right and just being this person. I don't know what it is. There's just something off about him.
I don't know. And even just when they come up on the screen, their energy and they're just so blah.
I think she's just like tired of the fakeness. Like I was saying, I didn't feel like he was authentic and he don't seem like it. The way that she says that he's more, I guess aggressive might not be the right word, but basically he's not as gentle as he is on camera, off camera. Yeah. I think that's what she was trying to say. She used the word aggressive, whatever way you want to describe it. Is not this calm, soft-spoken person that we're seeing on camera is what she's saying. Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like there's something fake about him.
I don't know. I mean, again, I don't think it's all him. I just think this episode was more so him. Because she does seem like a pretty rigid person, too.
Like I said, I think they both are just really focused on getting their point across and being right. Instead of, working as a team and trying to understand each other. It's always just the whole listen to respond thing. They have that down. That's what they do.
Oh, yeah, they definitely do that.
So hopefully they're able to get it together. I mean, on the after show, Michael said that things got better after Pastor Cal left.
Yeah, he said they were kind of able to start from a clean slate.
And also, Jasmina wasn't being honest, even the reason why she didn't want to stay at the apartment.
Oh, that bothered me. That really, first of all, when they walked into the apartment together, they didn't really seem excited. Again, their energy just...
She should have been honest.
And then she said, are you going to stay here tonight? I was like, why wouldn't he?
Like, I got to figure out things for my dog. I was trying to figure out, like, why can't she bring the dog to the apartment?
Yeah, I didn't get that either. And also, if he said he wasn't going to stay there, would you have stayed there?
He probably didn't even think that that would be a question. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't have either. I was very surprised she didn't stay there.
But I guess she was still mad about things that have been happening off camera. I feel like it's more than one thing.
I don't know if it is. I still feel like it is that one incident that she is still mad about. And I think it's building up in her head because of what her family member said.
What, his family?
Not her family member. Sorry, his family.
But at the same time, I don't understand why couples are harping on that. I mean, there are so many things that people told me about my husband. And I'm pretty sure my friends told him a bunch of stuff about me. Like, people said I was mean and all this other kind of stuff. But we just got to know each other for ourselves. Like, I'm so confused by this.
Yeah.
Like, I would not say...
Yeah, like she took that and ran with it.
Like, something that somebody told me about him, and I'm just like, oh my God. Oh, well, they told me you was like this. Like, that never even... like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just never crossed my mind, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got to give him a chance. Like, I think he learned from it, and he'll learn.
Hopefully, once they stop trying to compete against each other for who's the most impressive and smart and witty and whatever they're trying to come across as. Like, seems like they're condescending to each other. Like, they both speak to each other in a very condescending tone.
Oh, the way she was saying his name during that session, Michael.
Like Michael. He was a student.
Yeah, like he was one of her toddlers.
He was getting a little heated. But even when he was mad, I still didn't see this aggressiveness.
I think it's probably what he said. She didn't like the tone in which he was speaking.
I mean, I guess. But I'm just like, I can't see him yelling at her.
And also, men, I think sometimes they don't realize they're yelling, even if they just raise their voice a little, because their voices are deeper, they carry. So it can just kind of come off a little different. He probably didn't realize it.
Yeah, that's true.
Men need to be a little more aware of that. Because it can sound a little...
intimidating?
Not scary, but yeah, intimidating.
Yeah.
I don't want to use aggressive or scary, but yes, intimidating maybe.
Yeah, I guess aggressive is a...
Yeah, we got to be careful with our words. You don't want anyone over there thinking that did you feel harmed? Did you think he was going to harm you?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a different way to describe it, because I feel like Elijah Wan is like that on the daily. Like, he is just very, like, I don't even know other ways to describe it. I'm not saying like aggressive as in intimidating, but just kind of like hard. I don't know. Just like, God, just calm down. Like, he's so hype.
Oh yeah. He reminds me of like a 9-year-old with ADHD.
He is so hype all the time. And it's like, oh my God. Okay. Like, even when they went over to the house, it was hard. Like, he's like, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was trying so hard to impress her. It was actually kind of cute.
I was like, calm down. He's like, like when they go up to the house and she's like, okay, let's go up to the house. She's like, wait, look at it. No, like, look at it. Can you envision your life? I'm like, Elijah Wan, if you don't get in that house.
Yeah, he's definitely too much for me. I couldn't handle a personality like that. Very
hype, like super hype.
All excited about this house. That house is not cute. Y'all lost some gist.
It looks good on the outside. I like a wraparound porch.
The outside, yeah. But those curtains, these green walls, again, those cabinets.
I don't know why he thought them curtains was it.
Mm-mm.
He was literally... He was truly offended. He was offended.
Or she did.
Well, he asked, like, what would she change? And, like, the curtains, like, the first thing she said. And he's like, it's coffee. And she's like, yeah, but... he's like, I make some good coffee. I'm like, Elijah Wan, focus. That is not even... It's just ugly.
Yeah, no, I can't see them moving into that house. Mm-mm.
She would probably have... I mean, she's talking about, like, redoing it. He's like, that's $50,000.
Yeah, y'all just need to live somewhere else. That house ain't it.
Like, you know how much it's going to cost?
That house is not it. But you know what? Did we see her place?
No, I thought she lived with her mom.
Oh, okay. But
isn't that where she was at?
Over there. Even when they live with family members, they usually still go to the house.
I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
I wonder why we didn't see it. But he brought up this whole cooking thing again. That was actually starting to bother me.
I feel like Katina is nervous about that. I feel like she likes it. Like she wants to be that wife. The cooks. You think so? Because, I mean, Pastor Crow tried to, to come up for it. And she was like, no, I cooked. And I mean, she was proud of her spaghetti. I think she feels like that's what a wife does. But I feel like the way that this show is showing, I feel like the way the show is showing it is not how Elijah Wan is intending. Because he even clarified again. And I don't know if it's because they're showing specific clips of how he's talking about it. But he was like, I cook breakfast. It's like, I'm not saying she has to cook all the time and only her cook. She's like, I cook breakfast like every day. So, I don't know why it's coming off that way, but I don't really think that's how he intends it.
I don't know.
I think he's just saying he wants them to have.
The reason they're not having sex is because of him. In the after show, we found out that's not the case.
Well, it's mutual.
Yeah. And it's probably more so her. I just think Elijah Wan just be talking, saying stuff.
He probably
people want to hear.
I mean, he has ADHD. I don't think he's good at focusing and saying what he wants to say. He's too quick to get it out instead of thinking about what he's trying to say and say it. Yeah, I was kind of thrown off by that too. I was like, it's you, more so you. But why didn't she say anything?
I was wondering that too. I was a little confused as to why she didn't speak up, but maybe she just didn't want to call him out in front of Pastor Cal and on camera.
I mean, all she had to do was just say, it's mutual, but she made it seem like it was him because Pastor Cal was like, how does that make you feel? And she's like saying it makes her feel unwanted. And so if it's mutual, why would you feel that way?
I don't know. I don't know. Do you think she's lying?
It's not making sense.
Yeah.
He's saying it's him. She's saying it's mutual, but at the same time, she's saying she feels unwanted and not desired because he doesn't want to have sex. Like, is it mutual or is it not mutual?
Yeah, I don't really quite know what to believe. I definitely don't think it's all him at all, based off of what he was saying at the wedding and how he was acting. But based off what she was saying at the wedding and how she said she wanted to wait, and then what she said on the after show, I don't know. I definitely don't think it's all him.
To me, on the honeymoon, it seemed like she didn't want to wait anymore.
Not the honeymoon or the wedding is where she said
the honeymoon. Oh, I'm talking about, like, to me, it seemed like she was ready on the honeymoon to, like, I knew she said on the wedding night she wasn't going to have sex. And she said like 4 weeks or something she was going to wait.
Yeah,
but I feel like
4 weeks.
Yeah, but I feel like she was just saying something. I knew they both were and he was adamant about not having sex on the wedding night too. Because he said if she tried to have sex on the wedding night, he was going to judge her. I remember him saying that. And I was like, what? So at this point, I don't know if it's mutual. I don't know.
I just thought that was a little odd.
It is odd for her to say she feels undesired if she's also saying, let's not have sex.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I will say I am surprised, though, that he is not wanting to. And I wondered if it's because in his past he's so used to, like, just hitting it and quitting it, that he's worried if he has sex too soon with her, that he'll lose interest.
I know that could be it. I remember he spoke about it once. He did say that he is more interested in building that emotional connection because he's had a lot of sex.
Mm-hmm.
He did say that. But I don't know, that could be true. Maybe he's afraid that if he has sex before he builds that connection, that it will seem more like familiar territory where it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, whatever they decide, we respect it.
Yeah.
Y'all do you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point, Mark and Lindsay might be the only ones But their story's not even straight. So,
oh, Mark and Lindsay.
I told you Lindsay was going to be too much for Mark, and she is.
I never thought that she wouldn't, but she's definitely a lot. I just feel like I thought he could handle it. Because he's kind of a lot too, just not on Lindsay's level.
He's not disrespectful. She's disrespectful. She's belligerent. Mm-hmm. There's a difference.
Lindsay definitely gets mean. When
exactly.
She's upset, she gets mean and kind of hits below the belt.
Belligerent.
Yeah, I've noticed. I don't know if it's belligerent, but she says very mean things.
I feel like she's just, I don't know. I mean, I haven't even seen this side of Mark either, that everybody's like, Mark is a lot. I haven't even seen this Mark is a lot thing yet.
I think because we're comparing it to Lindsay. Lindsay is in her own separate category.
I guess, but I'm still trying to see how Mark is a lot. I
think they're trying to say he has a big personality.
Elijah has a big personality.
And he is also a lot.
So that's what I'm saying. I can see Elijah being a lot. I can see Lindsay being a lot. I can't see Mark being a lot. Mm-hmm. Even Alyssa is a lot.
But no, Lindsay, I've noticed she needs to dial it back when she's upset and learn to express herself a little bit better.
I feel like she just needs to dial it back, period. Like definitely when she's upset, because you can't just say things out of anger that are hurtful. That's not gonna go over well.
And that's what she does. And she does that, and it seems she's probably doing it intentionally.
Yeah, because she's hurt.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
You hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you. That's not how it works. You don't go tit for tat in a relationship.
Yeah. I've just noticed she's doing that really early on with very little information.
And Mark is not even intentionally trying to hurt her. That's the thing. Like she's going, you hurt me, I hurt you. But he's not even trying to hurt you. He's trying to just take things slow. He's trying to get his head above water. Really, that's what he's saying. Like, he's like, I think I got caught up in this whole whirlwind of us getting married and all this other kind of stuff. And now I'm not feeling right. I'm not feeling like I'm actually having an in-body experience. He's having out-of-body experiences. Like, let the man breathe.
Yeah, I think between her personality and everything he has going on, it's just too much right now.
Right. And to her, like, at first I was like, yeah, that's good that she's like stepping in. But she's just like, go, go, go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And he's like, I just need a second to think. Do I want to do that? Mm-hmm. I don't even know if that's something I want to do, because Lindsay is just go, 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 go. I can't even think of my own plan. So,
yeah. And I will say, I will give Lindsay a lot of credit for stepping up the way she did.
Yeah.
Because it would have taken a lot for me to go inside of that apartment and gather up your belongings, knowing that there are bed bugs in there.
I mean, he's on the after show. He seemed like he didn't even want to do that. So I don't know if that was just her too.
No, I think he didn't want to go about doing it that way, but it's something that they had to do. Oh. He had to do it.
Because I'm like a teen, I would have thrown everything
he didn't
away.
Want to do it that way that they were doing.
Yeah. I just feel like he just needs to assert himself and be like, I got it. Thanks. If I need you, I'll call you. But when he tries to do that at the same time, she gets upset. So I don't know.
Yeah. But so Pastor Kyle, he was so awesome this episode.
I loved it.
He was like, Mark, this is kind of what you asked for, if you think about it.
Someone that's a lot.
You said you wanted someone with a big personality to match yours. Here you go. You wanted someone who's a caretaker. Here you go.
But he didn't want someone that was disrespectful and mean and rude.
Well, they didn't know she was disrespectful. She probably wasn't disrespecting the expert.
I mean, like he also, he brought up the trip, like the thing on the plane, the thing on the boat. He was like, it's just all these situations. Like, that's not me. That's not my personality. I'm not confrontational. I don't like getting in fights with people. I don't like getting in arguments with people. And I told you, he's not going to want to having to keep apologize for his wife.
Yeah, no, she definitely needs to figure that out. She needs to dial it down and learn to control her mouth.
Yeah, he seems more like a friendly person. Like, he likes to have fun. He doesn't like to be loud and obnoxious.
He has more of like a big fun personality. No, he's not super loud and in your face, but
obnoxious. That's what I was thinking of. Not belligerent, obnoxious.
And really, Lindsay, she's really only to me like that when she gets really drunk. or when she's drinking, when alcohol is involved. She needs to put down the wine, the beer, the liquor, leave it alone.
Oh, I guess she was drinking wine when Pastor Cal came, because I was like, she was being a little bit obnoxious then too.
When she poured that glass of wine for the session, I was like, Lindsay, put that down. Do your clients drink wine during sessions?
No.
Yeah, that's not the time for that.
Nope. But I think she needs to calm that down. She needs to be just, I mean, and I feel like that's just a part of her personality. So I don't know if that's something that she can calm down.
So I thought about that. I don't want her to have to change who she is completely at her core. If this is who you are, I mean, no, it probably isn't going to change. But I'm wondering if she can adjust it.
She could. I don't know. I mean, how old is she? 35?
She's 34.
Yeah. It's going to take some work on her end.
It is. And I don't know if she's willing to do the work.
Right.
Because the way she responded to Mark when he was sharing his feelings
was horrible.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not doing anything wrong. There's nothing I'm doing.
And she said something like, let me put this BS together or something. And Pastor Cal was like, Lindsay, what?
Yeah.
I feel like she thought she was going to get so much praise is what she was expecting for stepping up and doing all that stuff for Mark. And she just thought she was about to be like wife of the year. And that's not the response that she got.
Now, I will say it's not fair to her if he did not communicate any of these things to her. If his response was to just kind of like cower in a corner and stop talking to her and be cold while she doesn't know what's going on, then that is on him. Well,
like he explained, when he tried to talk to her about how he was feeling at the honeymoon, it blew up in his face. And oftentimes that's what happens. Partners go to their spouse for whatever reason, with whatever. That response, when someone's being vulnerable with you and your response is like that, a lot of times they take that to heart and they're like, well, I'm not doing this again. And that's what he did.
That's true. But remember, Lindsay kind of had a reason to be upset.
But did she? Because now on the after show, Mark is like, we didn't even have sex. She was saying like, oh, we had just had sex 3 times that day. And I can't believe it came out of nowhere. Now you don't want to be intimate.
So now you don't believe Lindsay because Mark said they did.
I'm not saying I don't believe Lindsay, but I'm saying is we don't know who to believe. I don't know which ones to believe because it really is just Lindsay versus Mark. And I don't really like Lindsay.
Yeah,
so
I feel like either way, they were intimate. He may not call it sex. Maybe she would. I don't know. Either way, they were intimate in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, I thought he said they were intimate at all that day. He said the day before.
No, he had mentioned that day. And then he said he couldn't remember. And I was like, Mark, stop.
He said, because I just watched it before I came on, but maybe I heard wrong. But he was saying...
He said they did that morning, and then he said he couldn't remember.
Because he said since the honeymoon, they only had sex 2.5 times. I mean, since the wedding, they only had sex 2.5 times at that point. And they had been there for 7 days. So that's not that much sex. Like, she was acting like...
I just feel like...
They had sex 3 times that day.
There was penetration or not, they were probably intimate in some way. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean sex.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm not just going to completely discount what Lindsay says because Mark said no.
I feel like whatever they did, Mark said they had sex on the wedding night and it was great. He said whenever they were intimate again after that, he didn't feel the same. Like he didn't feel like his feelings were in it. And he was like, he wants to make a better emotional connection because there were so many things that he saw from her that was turning him off, essentially. So he wanted to tell her that, like, hey, I would think that we could scale it back or whatever he said. I don't know exactly what he said. He didn't say he wanted to end it. He didn't say he didn't want to be with her. He just said, I think he was just trying to say, let's not have sex anymore, but in a roundabout way. Like, again, people are not being direct and it causes problems. And she took offense to that and it blew up in his face. And he's just like, I don't know how to talk to her without her getting angry. So I'm just going to not do that.
Yeah.
And that's what happens a lot. I don't know. I feel like all the couples just need to be more direct with each other because clearly
communication. That's their issue too.
We're acting like the issue was resolved and it wasn't. Not to Mark, because he has residual feelings from that whole situation.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that he brought that up because I thought that they had talked through it and they were over it. Because I think Lindsay was more so upset with what was happening in Boston. She wasn't talking about what happened on the honeymoon. She was saying, since we've been here, you've been very essentially cold towards me.
And he was saying the reason why there was a reason that he was doing that, but he just didn't know how to talk to her about it because he didn't know how to talk to her in a way that wasn't going to be upsetting. Mm-hmm. I mean, we see, and like Pastor Cal said, I could see why. He's talking to you right now, being vulnerable with you right now, and this is your response again? Mm-hmm. I mean, not in the same way, but it's still disrespectful. I mean, you're being condescending, you're invalidating his feelings all over again.
Yeah, she was.
It seems like a pattern of behavior that if I was Mark, I wouldn't want to talk to you either. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be cold because I can't talk to you about how I feel. So I'm just going to internalize it now.
Yeah, I just need for her to be more aware of that. It just seemed like she doesn't care. She's just like, well, this is who I am.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
Yeah, she has got to learn to adjust a little bit. You know, that seems to be a theme.
Between all the couples. I mean, at least there's just at least one partner that's not speaking up. I feel like Steve isn't speaking up that much with Noi. I feel like Mark isn't speaking up much with Lindsay. Katina's not speaking up with Elijah. But then you have Jasmina and Michael, who are both just like, I don't know, beating around the bush with each other.
Yeah, and then also just this rigidness, too, that we see with Noi. And I feel like Jasmina has it. And Lindsay, too.
Yeah.
And I wonder, that could also come, too, with age. I just feel like at a certain point, you are kind of set in your ways.
Yeah, but you can't be set in your ways when you're joining your life with someone else.
Oh, no, definitely not. I just think it's harder to do when you've been single for that long.
Yeah, it's probably harder to recognize as well as you don't see that you're being inflexible.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are like, I don't want to compromise my, I don't know, integrity, or I don't want to compromise, when it's like, that's not really what you're compromising. You know, if you are saying, I don't want, you know, X, Y, and Z, then you need to communicate that so that person knows that. It doesn't mean like, oh, he did this, that's it. Like, I am not going to allow somebody. Okay, give somebody a chance. I was reading something, it's like, you have to be able to give your spouse the benefit of the doubt. And a lot of times people don't give their spouses the benefit of the doubt. You would give your boss, you would give your coworker, your friend the benefit of the doubt to correct their mistakes. But a lot of times people don't want to do that with their spouses.
Yeah, in order for them to correct them, it's going to take you speaking up and letting them know.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you don't do that, then you're just going to be sitting over there holding on to stuff. All this resentment's going to build up.
Exactly.
Until you blow up and your partner is like, wait, what? We had a problem?
Yeah. And like I said, I feel like someone like Mark, because he's expressed himself not so much, but he's been given a pattern of, I guess, not being met with the openness that he needs when he's expressing himself. So it's probably going to take him some time to be able to build up to be vulnerable with her again.
And, you know, so when we were in couples therapy, or just therapy, she wasn't really a couples therapist, but she had actually recommended writing things down. So maybe that's something they could try. Like he could try writing her a letter to explain how he's feeling. That may come off a little bit better and maybe a little easier for her to receive and give her some time to process it.
I mean, I feel like they suggest things like that because you're not able to listen to respond. Like you have to read it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pay attention to what it's saying. You know, you see the words on the paper kind of thing. Just something like that you can do in person is paraphrase what the person said to you before you respond.
That is also something to try, like clarifying questions.
Yeah. Like if Mark is saying X, Y, and Z, then you can repeat X, Y, and Z back of how you understand it. So that way there would be no misunderstandings because he could be like, no, that's not what I meant. And maybe he can say it in a different way for you to be able to understand. So that's another, I guess, thing that they could do to try to improve their communication and understanding of one another. Kind of like basic things.
Yeah, they do need to start with the basics.
When they're in communication trouble. But I mean, also with him being more assertive, he's going to have to build that back up. And like I said, there's small ways to do that, to assert yourself and say, just tell her what you want, tell her what you like. You know, I want to eat here tonight. Don't always just let her make the decision and just run over your life where you feel like you're not living your own life.
Yeah.
So, which I could see she could come off as a little controlling, because I remember she was saying something about his clothes as well. Like, oh, we got to get you different clothes. And
she was doing that the whole episode. She said, oh, no, we can't do the cure. Too much plastic. I said,
she's been doing that since they got married. Like when she saw the clothes that he packed on the honeymoon, like, what? You can't be wearing that. When she saw the food, every aspect of his life, I feel like she has just been trying to take over. So I could understand why he's like, I don't feel like myself.
Yeah. I wonder if she didn't show that much of her personality to the experts.
I'm trying to remember because I watched the matching episode and I remember.
I did too. You could tell she was kind of a lot, but not to this extent.
I didn't think she was going to get matched, honestly. Because Dr. Pepper was kind of like, what?
Yeah, Lindsay. Oof. I think she needs individual therapy.
She might.
Actually, a lot of them do.
I mean, pretty much everybody in the world does. Honestly. We all have things that we could work through. So and sometimes it's not even therapy. Like some people just need a little bit more guidance or sometimes just more experience. Like, no, I just feel like she needs, well, she might because she has a hard past. But some of that stuff about kids, she just needs some guidance. She needs someone to tell her.
She just sounded like a 14-year-old who was like, I want to get married and live in a big white house with a picket fence.
I mean, to me, she's been sounding like that the whole time. She has this fairy tale, like, ideal of marriage.
And again, I think that's probably just all linked to the way she grew up. She just wants it to be the complete opposite of how she grew up.
But I mean, she said her parents' marriage was so great.
Perfect little family. But she says that because they stayed together through the struggle.
True.
So.
Yeah, I don't know what that was like.
And she definitely has some things to work through. And again, we all do.
But then, dun, 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 dun. Well.
Melissa and...
It's over, finally.
Thank God.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, thank God. I'm actually annoyed Pastor Cal didn't call her out more.
I'm annoyed that she came there saying she was trying to make the relationship work.
I was like, girl, if you don't stop lying.
I was like, what? Hey. Now you want to make it work?
But you know what? I wonder if neither of them were really calling her out because they know how she's going to respond. She's just going to cry, get mad, or get up.
That's just enabling her. It's just allowing someone to behave in a certain way that is not how they should behave. Is encouraging that behavior. So
Chris was just so over it.
He really was.
Over it.
She seemed like she was blindsided. Like she was like, a divorce? Like she was shocked? Don't be shocked. You're shocked? Like, no.
I guess she didn't think he was going to call it off.
That was, it was kind of interesting how she finally started saying their fundamental core differences that she refused to say before for whatever reason. What was it? The defund the police thing, which I feel like her statement about that was completely ignorant. She obviously doesn't know what defund the police even means.
Yeah, she sounded really, I was like, girl, stop.
Like, that is not what that means. So, okay.
Also, she didn't see that till they got back from the trip, right?
I think she saw it. I don't know, because I thought in the previous seasons they couldn't have social media, but they've been referencing social media a lot. Like all the couples have.
I think they just have to make it private before it airs. Or before they start advertising for it.
So maybe she did see it on the honeymoon or somebody showed her it or something she was saying. It was that and it was something else. I think something else that his friend said. So.
No, Alyssa's a Trump supporter.
Pretty much. That's what I got from that.
Get her off of my screen.
That's what I got from that. Like, defund the police. I love you know how I care about first responders? I'm like, well, then you just don't know what that means, do you?
He likes to debate things. He likes to have discussions. Alyssa.
She was like, who are you going to call? If you're not going to call the police, what? You think the police are going to come save you? You want to defund the police? Girl, what?
She's just not very bright to me.
I was like, did she just say that on TV?
So bad. And she was bothering me talking about she's allergic to dogs. Girl.
Oh, no. See, I knew people were going to say stuff about that, but I have that same allergy. But
don't you think she would have brought that up at some point, Jennelle? She rescues animals.
Yeah, she should have brought that up, but I have the same thing. So, like, if I am around a new dog, my eyes get swollen, all the other kind of stuff. But if I'm around a dog that I've been around, like she said she had a dog for 10 years, it goes away. Like, even when I go visit my parents, like they have a dog. So if I'm there, like the first day, my eyes might get a little bit swollen or whatever. But after a while, it goes away. And that's only because I only visit my parents so often. But if I visit them more, the more my body gets used to the dog, the less that I have flare-ups. It's really weird. I don't know.
So yes, you believe. Don't nobody believe Alyssa. Alyssa is lying. She is lying. If the dogs were an issue, why didn't you bring that up initially on the honeymoon?
She didn't bring up anything on the honeymoon. That's the thing.
Right. Girl, be quiet.
And if she does have the same allergy, yeah, it would suck for like 2 days. But after that, your body will get used to the dog and you won't be sick anymore.
Right. Take some Zyrtec. You'll be fine.
If she has the same allergy as me, like it doesn't last like forever. Like it just lasts like a day, depending on the dog. Some dogs it doesn't happen to at all. Some dogs, like my eyes get so swollen I can't see. So it just depends.
She was lying. Ain't nothing wrong with her. Nothing is wrong with her. I'm just I don't know if she'll be on our TV screens every Wednesday, but I feel like she's going to find a way, though. She's going to find a way to hang out with Jasmina and Katina.
I feel like they're probably like talk to her about how she's feeling, especially next episode. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk to her about, oh, how do you feel about getting divorced? And then she's going to try to make Chris seem like the bad guy. Like, I was willing to make it work and he just wanted to throw in the tile. Like, I'm a good person and I was here for the right reasons and I should have deserved to be in the process.
And I did so much work to get here. What work? You filled out an application.
And she's a social media manager, it says.
Mm-hmm.
Did she say that before? I thought she worked at the rescue animal place.
So there was a lot of emphasis on that. They made it seem like that was her job, but I guess it's just more of a passion and a hobby.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because social media manager is also very vague to me.
She just runs some company's Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It could be anybody. It could be mine. Like it could be anybody's Instagram.
Alyssa for sure just wanted to be on television.
Like she's a social media manager. Like, of course we know you're not here for the right reasons. Like what?
And Pastor Cal, he rolled his eyes. I don't just want to be on TV, and that's what you're implying.
Like, that is definitely why would they even pick? I'm trying to figure out why did they feel like she was good for the show?
I don't know. Oh, so unfortunate. But I'm glad Chris ended that and didn't put himself through it.
Yeah, she was just trying to drag him along, just drag it out. That would have been hell on earth for him, I'm sure.
And for us. We don't want to watch that every week.
Well, there was a lot of drama that unfolded this episode, and it seems like it's not slowing down anytime soon.
I know. Will these couples learn to communicate? Will they learn to compromise?
I guess we'll see. Well, like always, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. We would like to hear how you feel about the couples and their communication. What do you think about it? You think it's going to get better, worse? What is your 2 cents?
Yes, and tune in next week for more reality tea.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.